Okay, hold on. Let's do the intro. Oh, hey, well, fellas, we're live. Welcome, America, to the best hour of your day. Assuming your day is very, very mediocre. It's the Eric and Rodney Show with Robin and special guest Joe Templin. Hey, everybody.
Welcome, Joe.
Thank you, guys. It has already gone off the rails. Totally appropriate.
It was okay. So speaking of going off the rails, a lot of people joke about drinking this early in the morning, but no one's ever done it until our friend Joe here. So Joe, can you bring over that bottle? Because the Willet bottle is, you've never seen this, Robin?
Wow.
It's a giant bud plug.
No.
Yeah, it's a giant bud plug.
Looks like a bong.
It's a bong.
Robin, what's a bong?
I don't know. I heard Eric say it. It sounded like a cool word.
That sounds
Well,
right.
Joe, I'm going to cheers with you. I didn't bring down a glass, but here you go.
That's the good stuff. Now have a little moonshine.
I like a little barrel strength in the morning. It puts air on your chest, Robin.
I'll have a beard by the time the show's over.
Goddamn right you will. Okay, so listen. Yesterday we introduced this new thing because every day in this country is a national something day because we have nothing else to worry about. And Rodney, you're never going to believe what today is.
Pickleball day.
It's National Pickleball Day. Oh,
you know how I knew it? Some lady told me yesterday.
Wow. What are the odds?
Here's the crazy part. I'm not even playing today.
Well, you're taking National Pickle Day off? That's good for you.
Well, I've been playing a lot lately.
Amateur hour.
That's right.
Joe, have you ever played pickleball?
I have not. I have more self-respect than that.
Oh no!
Oh, those are fighting.
Oh no!
Dangerous words.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
No, Rodney's thinking about going pro.
That's
Bourbon at 10 o'clock in the morning feels good. I feel warm and alive.
It fills that cold, dark place in your soul, doesn't it?
It does. I've never understood people that drink in the morning.
So you're saying Mad Men was onto something?
Absolutely. But my autocorrect, or keeps changing morning run to morning rum. So
there's got to be
I'm
a
just
sign.
living the pirate life.
That's
if
right.
You don't listen to the universe. I don't know. Wait, are you double fisting bourbon and coffee?
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot from you already. This is a very productive show. I'm going to do it.
We're only 2 minutes in.
That stage of flow where you have tension and relaxation. So from a biochemistry point of view, this is actually exactly what you should be doing.
This is why I'm going to hire you as a life coach. If you're going to advise me to drink at 10 a.m., listen, I don't want to. I don't want to. My coach tells me I have to.
So over the weekend, I was actually drinking Founder's Breakfast Reserve Stout, which is an oatmeal coffee stout. And it's got everything that you need for the morning.
Yeah, it's a breakfast beer.
Exactly. It says so right on the side of it.
Beer saved the planet. Have you ever seen this? Because when our water wasn't potable, if you go through the brewing process, all of a sudden you have a drinkable liquid.
And beer was one of the ways to be able to take excess harvest and be able to convert it to something usable. So first there was beer and then there was whiskey. And so America was actually truly powered by beer and whiskey in the early days.
Yeah. And I believe the first piece of legislation with food and drink was bourbon, the Bonded and Bond Act. So we don't fuck around when it comes. Oh, also, guys, bourbon's great. Robin, Rodney, I think you should go grab a bottle. Let's see how fucked up we can get by 11.
And now America runs on Duncan.
We've fallen quite a bit. Okay. Joe has a lot to say. Joe, I've watched a lot of your videos, and you're
sorry.
I was drunk.
We loved him.
It's fantastic. A little jolt to Joe. See, I know what I'm talking about. But before we get to the Joe portion of the show, we have to cover the news because America demands our opinions on such things. Robin, in his infinite kindness, has gone with 4 Fox News stories. So that's kind of you.
So we're going down a foxhole.
Going down a foxhole. I think we start off with something reasonable from the Washington Post, right?
Wait, no, this one's from LinkedIn. I mean, it could be from Washington Post. It's from LinkedIn. I initially was wondering why LinkedIn hasn't sponsored us, but
it's pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious. You whipped out a bottle of bourbon.
What's so obvious about it? By the way, this is our 51st show, in case anyone's counting.
Are you saying that LinkedIn doesn't drink?
It's not called Drinkton, is it?
Oh, Drinkton!
I liked it.
Sponsored by Drinkton.
You know what? That would have been really good during the The pandemic. Drinked in.
Drinked in? No, I know.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We need another pandemic.
I'll start it.
And it's yeah.
Robin's in Asia. Robin, can you undercook a bat served in some soup? Kill 6 billion people in the United States.
Or break into a lab. Either
break
or.
into a lab. Yeah. I know what you guys do over there. Anyway, what's going on LinkedIn? LinkedIn.
No, I'm curious. I still wonder from time to time where like the whole undercooked bat story came from.
I don't know, but we all bought into it. We're like, you gotta cook your fruit bats. Everybody knows that.
It was Mother Goose.
Yeah. Okay, so this first story is titled, "Is this the demise of ultra cheap stuff?" So I know we're all kind of guilty of using super cheap stuff. So like when you pick something up in a place like Target, and you wonder why are these things so cheap? It's possible because of Asian factories, and of course the inhumane working and living conditions there, which fuels its production. So there are stats now saying that a lot of these young workers are not like the previous generations because they now have like social media and better education. So they're saying that it could be the end of all the super cheap stuff. Asian factory workers, do you guys think it's a necessary evil, or is it something you're happy to let go of?
It's a necessary evil if you're going to participate in capitalism, because I don't know if you know this, Robin, but one of the central tenets of capitalism is exploitation of cheap labor. For a while, it was us doing cheap labor, but then we figured out that cheap labor sucks, so we sent it overseas. Now China's figuring out that cheap labor sucks, so they're sending it to Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, and India. So it's just going to be a cycle until the whole world catches up with the idea that factory work sucks.
When was the U.S. doing cheap labor?
It's a geographic arbitrage. I mean, the United States in the early days was not allowed to actually manufacture. Everything was exported to first England and then other places. And so this has been going on until eventually somebody's going to say, we're not doing this anymore. And that moves to the next location, next location, next location. And eventually there is no more cheap labor and everybody's got to pay.
Yeah. Luckily, though, there's still a large swath of the world is dirt poor. So we have some time before your shirts don't cost $9.99 anymore, but it's catching up with us. Here's the other thing, though, too.
Yeah.
This fascinating thing that work is supposed to be satisfying in some way. And that's a brand new concept. We've discussed this before. Because in 1510, if you were a cobbler or a blacksmith, you weren't looking for fulfillment out of your job. You just didn't want to fucking die and lose your house. Now, everyone has, the Chinese are famous for loving TikTok. They see that there's a world outside of working 16 hours a day where you can't take a piss break. So they don't want to do it anymore. That's perfectly reasonable.
Sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
I also think too that eventually it won't matter about any of these jobs because the computers will be doing that. So
that's the other thing too. I thought AI was going to do machines. I mean, look at this. Look at these conditions, man. Can you imagine? This is what makes me. This is how I know I'm soft. I mean, I'm a soft in 1,000 ways, but like this show exhausts me. Like talking in front of a computer screen exhausts me. And look what they do for 16 hours a day.
Right.
Are they sewing? That's sewing, right?
It's sewing, yeah.
Sewing, yeah.
This also plays into my pervasive theory that no one gives a fuck about brands and everybody pretends that they do. But I don't know if you know this, but Apple, The Gap, and Adidas have all come under scrutiny for workers in China. They've been the workers subjected to violence, harassment. They've been denied meal breaks and bathroom breaks. But I got to tell you, Apple, The Gap, and Adidas are all doing fine. So, brands have to be
actually, I don't know about Gap and Adidas.
What's that?
I don't know about Gap and Adidas. They're doing too well.
I think they're doing like on a macro level. I mean, if you and I wake up with Adidas money, I think we're okay.
Maybe we need a Run DMC comeback.
A couple of weeks, right? We could last. But I think Kanye really put a dent in their. Yeah. Oh, he really hurt him up.
I don't know. During the winter, I was wearing my little Adidas Run DMC red jacket.
Oh, I still wear Adidas. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to stop wearing Adidas. I just think he put a little dent in their bag.
Yeah. I just think it's audacious for Americans to go want to buy a pair of jeans for $20 and go, well, listen, no one was abused making these pants, right? No one gives a fuck. You're just going to, you know what I mean? Like, stop pretending we care. We don't care. Nobody cares.
Sure. Actually, interesting thing. So, like, when there's a disaster in a country like the Philippines, and a bunch of these Western countries donate their secondhand clothes, they don't go as donations in the Philippines to the people that need them. They get resold here in these little we call them ukay shops.
Oh,
so
cute names.
It's yeah.
Was that translated as?
Never done.
Yeah, what's the translation of that?
Stupid American shop?
Like bargain.
If it's not,
it actually translates to
Walmart,
like bargain shops.
Have you ever bought? Where did your shawl
Dollar
come
store.
The shawl actually did come from one of those.
from? Why are we? Wait a second. We're donating.
It was a
shawls?
pashmina in on Canal Street, and now it's around Robin's neck.
I wouldn't be surprised if it came from America.
Yeah.
From Canal Street.
You know what's fucked up too is this story goes on to say that, well, listen, if the Chinese are going to want more money, then they're going to have to increase the price of Barbie and stuff. So I just, I looked up, they said Mattel is hurting. So I looked it up. Their CEO makes $12 million. I don't think they're hurting that bad.
Only 12?
I know that seems on the lowest side.
He's paupers.
He's in some change, right?
Yeah. Get a real job.
Yeah. One more thing
Only
on this.
12 million. Well,
I know. What embarrassing. The last thing I thought that was interesting about this is that Chinese factories are doing what we did here about 10 years ago, which is like we put ping pong tables and beanbag chairs and maca bars and shit to try to make it. But can you imagine, like, just like here, in the middle of the day, I'm just supposed to play ping pong, and my boss is like, "Oh, thank God that table's getting used." No, well, fucking get back to work. What are you doing? And so you're telling me these chicks are going to get up from sewing a pair of jeans and go play ping pong, and the bosses are going to go, "Oh, this is amazing. Look, they're happy." No.
I mean, I could tell you this. I worked at a startup for a very, very short, maybe 6 months amount of time. And we had all kinds of amenities. And it was basically like a WeWork in there. And no one ever played any games.
No, you're right.
No one. I don't remember the programmers being like, "I got to get a quick game in of ping pong."
Yeah, because you'll be the first to get fired. I went to WeWork too, and they're like beer on tap. So you're like, "Oh, I can drink at work. I can drink at work, right? I can just show up and start fucking drinking at work like this, like I own my own company."
Yeah, I don't remember. It's funny. I don't recall that happening. That either. And then they had a beer tap in there. I mean, I think you could drink after 5. But then I got to thinking to myself, right? Like
somewhere.
if it's 5 o'clock and I'm out of here at 5, do I want to drink at work?
Yeah. No, you want to get the fuck home, right? Nobody.
I'm out. Yeah.
Because work
No
sucks.
one's gonna hang out. Yeah.
Americans know that work sucks, and it's a problem because if the rest of the world figures this out, we're in big trouble.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, what do we got next? I got to tell you, the aggregation of marginal gains. If I do this every day, I could probably drink a few, right?
Absolutely.
Although this
consistency leads to excellence.
If I get 1%,
just 1% better.
Yep. What year will I die? When does the bell curve go the other way?
Let's run the odds. Let's do a poll, a LinkedIn poll. Right.
All right. As soon as the show ends,
One of those polls.
All right, Robin, what's next? The demise of cheap labor we've done. Oh, that's one's sad. Why do you do this? Go ahead. Introduce your sad story.
Okay, yes, it's but like it's something that we talk about because it could happen to anyone. So apparently there's this phenomenon where you like drink too much water in one go. You could die because of water toxicity. So there's this Indiana woman who downed 4 bottles of water in 20 minutes, and she died because it's called hyponatremia. I didn't even know this was a thing.
She drank 4 bottles of water in how long?
20 minutes. So it equals half a gallon.
5 minutes.
Half a gallon in 20 minutes doesn't seem like that much, is it?
This is water?
Yeah. You never hear anybody die.
I drank that much of vodka in college.
I'm
joking.
Right, I know. We used to shotgun 6-packs. That's got to be half a gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this woman, 50 pounds?
No, I was going to show a picture, but it seemed exploitative. No, she was a young, attractive female. I don't know where
like the lady. Is this like the lady that died from eating coconuts and apples or something?
Well, it's like the other day. Yes, the vegan. So this is what Fox News does. They isolate these weird death stories.
Yeah.
And, because we had the coconut lady. I'm sorry, it was the durian and passion fruit lady.
Yeah, something.
The brain-eating amoeba, and now too much water. It's a little bit of fear mongering. I think you can drink. I think there was probably underlying conditions.
Hey, you know
I have
what?
a question.
CNN does the same thing on the other side, by the way. It's all about selling advertising.
Oh, yeah.
So we are nothing but, addicted to the constant fear mongering, and it gets us all excited and it keeps us glued to the TV, and they can tell us what to think, and then they make more money.
Oh, totally. I blame 9/11 because I think 9/11 introduced the 24-hour news cycle, and they figured out they could make money. So it's just gotten more and more exploitative because you could do 50 stories on Ukraine every day, but we're burnt out on that. So you got to tell us if some woman died of a brain-eating amoeba or that someone drank half a gallon of water. Oh, fucking water! Can't drink water anymore.
And then they bring on the cute cat for, to help liven the mood a little bit. And then they go right back to finding the isolated incident of 350 million Americans. Woo!
I know. It's depressing.
So I might have a question. That story seems that it was either edited by Mike Huckabee or Alex Jones. Don't drink any water.
I saw Alex Jones the other day on a Megadeth documentary. Did you know Alex Jones is a huge Megadeth fan? Loves Megadeth.
Incredible.
Oh my God, the lyrics he says are very
But
deep.
do they like him?
I don't know. Dave Mustaine didn't have anything to say about Alex Jones. All right, moving on. I don't think there's anything else.
Bourbon? Is that what we're saying?
Mm-hmm. Listen, until half a gallon of this kills me, I think we're going to be just fine.
That's right.
For people who drink this early in the morning, you two are oddly high function.
Well, give it time because I'm going to get marginally better in 100 days.
Well, also, I've been up since 4:30 this morning, so
Oh, Jesus.
I'm 6 hours into my day. So that's
Oh my
like
God.
most people drinking at lunch.
I woke up
Still
half
not
an hour ago
great,
to
but-
do my hair. Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, your lifestyle is totally.
We had to wake Eric up to turn the camera on.
Oh, I forgot you're a Yankees fan too. I read that about you.
I am
So I
too.
can see the cap up there as well.
Yeah, it was a great year. It's 2004. Do you remember that? Do you remember what happened in 2004?
Yeah, a bunch of idiots came back.
Is that one of the years? Is that one of the years we didn't win?
You're underselling it. What did they come back from? It must have been like a 2-1. No, is that right?
3-0. All right.
3-0. That's right. Okay, just making sure. God bless
I
the
was
rest.
That was one of the years we didn't win, right?
Yeah, that was one of the years we didn't win.
Yeah, I can do
They
math.
broke the curse after, what was it, 85 years?
200 years.
It was like 2 or 3 years. Nobody remembers that. It doesn't matter. Anyway,
Nobody remembers that anymore because, you're all Johnny-come-lately fans.
the Red Sox, Johnny Come Lately fans, stop it. You can accuse
Okay,
us.
if you did not
Stop it.
call your grandfather crying when they won the World Series in 2004, can you even call yourself a Red Sox fan?
I called my father. Does that count?
Close enough.
Okay. Of
So I
course.
was actually at my fraternity house and we were having an alumni event. And there were all these guys from Massachusetts who we had made fun of from decades. And they're crying and they're calling their grandparents and all this stuff. And so if I ever had to see the Red Sox win the World Series, I wanted to be there with those guys watching that sort of event. I'm like, all right, that's good enough. Another 80 plus years for you guys.
That's right. That,
Yeah.
well,
Another
as it
100
turns out-
years.
Right. Well, luckily we've won 3 more. I don't know if you know that, but the other it's the same
Only
thing with
3
the-
more.
The 3 more after that? Do you want to go through play by play? But the Cubs are the same way. Like I was so happy for Cubs fans because they had it worse than us, arguably. So yeah, I mean,
200 years.
it's a long time. 200 years for the Cubs.
Finally broke the Billy Goat curse.
I know. Theo Epstein broke both curses. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Did
So
you hear about
he-
the curse in New York?
What? You got a new one?
Steve Cohen has finally outspent the Yankees. I don't know what the hell's happening in Queens.
No, they're a fucking nightmare. I know.
They literally had. I mean, like if you look at that roster, it was like All-Star, Hall of Famer, All-Star, and it's like yeah. What in the hell happened over there?
Baseball is wildly unpredictable. The
It's
Yankees
crazy.
are last. And I mean, it's like your payroll's in the top 3. I don't know. I fucking know.
They were not using Moneyball there.
No, I know. But Moneyball never won anything. Anyway,
Can I ask a baseball question as an ignorant Filipino? How is it called the Baseball World Series when I think the USA is the only country that plays?
Well,
Because
Robin, I don't know
other
if you know
countries
this about
play
us,
baseball.
but America is the best thing that's ever happened to the world, and we can do
That's
whatever the
right.
fuck we want. You want to beef about this? Want to go to war?
Because players from all over the world can play in it.
Yeah, but it didn't start that way. It was all white guys named like Chip and Skip, and you know what I mean. Like if you look at,
Dave,
do yourself a favor, like just Wikipedia the 1946 Detroit Tigers and read the names. It's fucking hilarious. It's all like lefty, and it's the cutest thing.
Yeah, 2 hands,
Yeah.
Rocco, and it's good shit. Yeah.
It's objectively hilarious. Every team, every roster has 9. Wally, it's just hilariously named.
2 times Tommy, 2 times Tommy.
Yeah, Jimmy 2 hats. They're like, oh, what's his gimmick? Well, he wears 2 hats. Yeah, that's great.
He's a maniac.
Johnny One Sock, you remember him? Oh, it was great. Anyway, what's next?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So when some crazy shit happens in America, it's always usually happening.
Yes.
Like, it's either Florida, Texas, or in this case, Alabama.
Alabama.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's right, baby.
I hear banjos.
Guys, you're never
I
gonna
was
believe
worried
some
about,
racist
like,
shit happening in
mentioning these.
Alabama. Okay.
Right. So authorities were alerted when a WWE-like brawl broke out on the riverfront. So it doesn't
So no one
say
got
this
hurt.
in the. One person in particular did get hurt, and he was black, by the way. So there were like several shirtless white dudes, probably drunk, and it's never a good sign when you see several white dudes beating up a black man. And I don't know, Alabama sounds kind of like a racist state, so it could be racial related. But like, it's just kind of sad.
Doesn't sound like it.
Irritates me.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, I don't think race had anything to do with this at all.
No,
It was
it just kind of irritates me though, because like he's a dock worker, he's just doing his job. Maybe they got like upset because there was some rule that he was trying to enforce. But like,
Do you have the end of that story as well?
That's it.
So you know what happened? So these white guys in a pontoon boat wouldn't move their thing, and a riverboat had to dock. So the worker was asking them to move it, and they got pissed off. One white guy attacks them, and then two other guys try to break it up. A fourth white guy comes in, and then the fucking melee starts. Anyway, the racist aspect is horrible, and don't get me wrong, but the memes that have come out of this is just, it's fucking internet gold. First of all, they're calling it the Alabama Sweet Tea Party, which is hilarious. Like,
Did you see the one guy that had the chair and the guy comes off the boat and he goes right with the chair and the guy
absolutely, I do. You know why? Because he hit Damn Boat Bitch Barbie with the chair.
This is horrible and awesome.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And then all these chicks posed with the chair.
Oh my god. Yeah, look at that chair. I mean, it's condition it's in. And they say wrestling ain't real.
Yeah, bullshit it ain't. I like this.
Is that
dude.
blood?
So Nathaniel Alexander was the inventor of the folding chair.
Nice.
I don't know why I find these so funny, but God bless America, you know? Did you guys see black
This is
people
real, right?
jumping out of the water? Well, there was one of the black dudes jumped out of a boat and swam over and started whooping ass. Did you see that clip?
No,
I
man.
did not know, but I didn't know this story had that much too.
Oh my God, Robin, there's like there's just multiple camera angles. It's like the JFK shooting, except we got it on film. And it's like once he starts getting his ass kicked, a black dude from a boat jumps in the water. It takes him like 3 minutes, but he gets up there and he starts throwing. It is amazing.
Right.
It's wild.
Did
The
these
guy
two
with the-
black people know each other or no?
What do you think? All black people know each other? So you have a very myopic view of the world.
I don't know.
Racist.
It's just
That's a racist.
Robin knows everyone in the Philippines.
I
That's
was
why
gonna
he's
say, yeah,
asked.
you know it. Well, he does know every Filipino. So
Because he's related to him.
anyway, we
He's like, hey, brothers and sisters.
Avengers Assemble. I just like this.
Arr! That's great.
Oh,
What are these sparklers? You brought sparklers to a fight.
oh, we only have 7 minutes before we get to the Joe portion. So you want to fly through these next?
yeah, okay.
Which one do you want to
It's
do?
gonna be. You want to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse or terrorist sympathizers?
Rodney loves Kyle Rittenhouse, so we should probably talk about that.
Okay. So Kyle Rittenhouse, obviously once a very controversial figure a few years ago, but he's making headlines again today because he's banded with a group of like-minded people, which is kind of worrisome. And they've created a non-profit called Themis, which is the Greek god of justice, and they're fighting for anti-cancel culture.
Yeah, you know what? The
Did you-
right hates
Penis?
cancel culture. What's that?
He's named it penis.
Penis. Yeah, after the Greek god of justice.
I mean,
Here's
what can we say? I don't even know.
Throughout the entire article, and then in the comments section, they talk about how much the right hates cancel culture. You know, that's right, because they would never cancel Bud Light or Target for selling LGBT or Starbucks every year for their fucking cups not being Christmassy enough, or banning books. They'd never do that. They never cancel books. The right? They hate cancel culture. Fuck off. Also, they're so mad that you can't just show up out of state as a minor with a gun that's not yours and shoot people. You know, like what happened to the United States? It's a fundamental tenet of Americanism. The story's so stupid. Why Kyle Rittenhouse, Donald Trump, and Tucker Carlson? These are the doughiest, grossest, most unimpressive people in the world, and they're the heroes of the right.
But I don't understand. So he's created a group called Penis that's helping people save money.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So this group is going to tell. So once you get canceled, you go to this group and they're going to uncancel you. So they're going to go, listen, guys, Kyle Rittenhouse is not canceled anymore. And then he can just walk about the streets like a normal human who didn't.
So I just want to make sure I get it now. Let's say I did something that was cancelable.
Mm-hmm.
I get my card pulled.
Yeah.
I call Kyle Rittenhouse. What's he? 18? Say Kyle. Right. Then I say, hey, Kyle, listen, I need you. And he's, what is he, Michael Clayton? He fixes it? Is that what I'm hearing?
I think that's the way it works. He said in this article, thank God in the Second Amendment, because otherwise I wouldn't have made it through that night. Bro, you showed up to a riot with a gun. They didn't come to your house.
He didn't think he was going to make it?
Right.
Interesting.
You enter the war zone and you go, oh, thank God for that Second Amendment that I...
You know, I got to tell you, there's two people that are really annoying to me, right? He's one of them. And the other guy on the left that really annoys me is that guy, David Hogg. You ever seen him? The guy that survived the school shooting? He's always talking about, he's always around, always going on and on. I'd love to see those two in a cage match.
Yes.
I would. That's what, you know what? People think we need Zuckerberg and Musk. We need those two.
That could be the undercard. Hogg versus Rittenhouse.
That's right.
I got to tell you, though.
No weapons.
Okay, no weapons. Hogg is very slight. Like, I'm a big fan of his. You know, it's crazy when a guy survives a school shooting and then has.
I didn't say I didn't like him. I said he's annoying. I don't like Kyle Rittenhouse. Listen, I think I got to be honest with you, at this point, Elon's annoying. Every time you turn around, it's something new. Like, enough, brother. Give us a few minutes to digest.
Oh, Elon.
But I like him.
Yeah, there's nothing you like Elon? Or Hogg?
He's okay. I mean, he's starting to get on my nerves. Too many moves.
Well, he's doing the Kardashian shit, which is that he feels the need to be in the news constantly. And listen, it's working out well to some degree. It must, right? He's still one of the richest.
It's not with me. I'm getting disappointed.
He needs to fuck a Kardashian next. Like, that's the arc of things that happen.
I thought Tom Brady was going to do that, and then now Tom's with a model. And
well, Tom Brady had a moment where he was like, "Yeah, I should fuck a Kardashian," and then Irina, whatever the fuck, came along. She was like, "No, that's a much better idea." So thank God.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I read that Giselle was upset about it.
No. I keep every time I mention Tom Brady, I feel the need to hold up a big head. But
remember when Robin was like, "Who's that man?"
Yeah.
Robin was like, "Is that your father?"
For 3 years, I had to pretend that Tom Brady didn't exist because he cheated on me with some chick in Florida. But now that he's retired, I took all my shirts back out. I feel at peace. It was a very rough 3 years. Anywho, okay, listen, let's do this last story real quick. We have 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how you guys feel about the Washington Post, but they are being criticized for showing sympathy to terrorists. So apparently, Washington Post is pro-Palestinian, and it's causing controversy because a lot of people think Israel's a good guy. So a lot of people take the side of Palestinians, and their side of the story makes them look like terrorist sympathizers. So a lot of sensitive details on the issue, but like in the eyes of the Palestinians and other Muslim countries around the area, Israeli fighters are the terrorists in their book. So
yeah, this is my issue here.
Figures.
I'm woefully ignorant about the Israeli-Palestine conflict, as most Americans are. I'm sure we're not there. We don't get it. But to criticize somebody for shining light on the other side, very rarely is one side just a bunch of fucking vicious assholes. They must have some sort of point. And it's just like you have to present both sides of the story, and to go, well, you should never talk to them is just fucking ignorant, I think. It's like this tweet here. This guy goes, he just did a friendly profile piece on this group, checks notes, suicide bombers to sandwich shops and bus stations. Do you know what the United States has done in war? Like, this is what war is. You know what I mean? We invented napalm, the fucking atomic bomb. Like, our atrocities they're on at least on par with this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
in America, we kill people who kill people because killing people's wrong.
Exactly. We're going to bring you some democracy with a gun. You're going to fucking love every second of it.
But first, do you have any oil?
Yeah. If your chief export is carrots, you're fine. But if you have oil, you're going to need some, baby.
You know what's funny? I used to say that all the time. People are like, you know what? What do you think about this North Korea thing? I said, pray God he don't find oil. There'll be a parking lot and a drilling station.
The 51st state, North Korea. It's going to be.
He wants a nuclear weapon. They'll send one to him.
Yeah. I just think it's wild that, like, you know, Americans with our children are concerned. Like, we were all up in arms about which first grade teacher my son was going to get, right? They wanted the best one. These people have to worry about their sons growing up to like fight in militias.
Are these the Tate brothers?
Right.
Yeah, it's just the world is a wild.
Is this Andrew Tate and his brother?
This is all.
Who are these
This
people?
is all 11. They're going to a women's movement. They're going to shoot up some bitches. I guess the point
Those
is,
guys are headed to Walmart for ammo.
Rittenhouse is joining. He's the leader. Get him over
That's
there.
Kyle's new army. That's the
All right.
Rittenhouse.
We did half an hour. I'm feeling
Yeah.
slightly buzzed, which is not
When
good.
do the writers come back?
The writers? I don't know. AI is replacing the writers. Okay, listen, we're in the Joe portion of the evening. Joe, you're an interesting guy. I did a deep dive last night when I was also drinking. But I
That's
watched
the perfect time.
Yeah, thank you. Aggregation of marginal gains. So you have a lot going on. You're an author. You do a podcast. You do like almost a daily show on YouTube at this point called Joe to Joe. You're
Well, actually, I do a daily one through Everyday Excellence with Joe. Joel to Joe is specifically for people in financial realm. Everyday Excellence is for anybody that wants to get better. So I release about 40 pieces of content a week.
Jesus. We do one
40?
show a day.
Wow, that's a lot of content. Are these all videos, or is this just
Videos,
various?
blogs, audio, an entire array of stuff.
Do you
I
grab
don't
like
speak
one?
that much.
Do you grab like one topic and then make various pieces of content based on that one topic, or it varies?
It varies. One of the things that I do for like my blog is I'll choose a theme for the week. So this week's theme is coffee. So every single day I would take a quote about coffee from somebody, whether it's Thomas Jefferson or J.S. Bach, and I would do a deep dive on that to expound on it into different areas so that people can see what they need in it to be able to improve overall.
That's smart. I like it. We do none of those things here. Just so you know.
We're working on it. We're
Yeah, well,
we're early
It's all
on.
Robin's fault. Just play
It is
Robin.
yeah, it's Robin.
Thank you
Damn
for
you,
acknowledging
Robin.
that. Right. We try to tell him, but it's
Finally, someone
Robin's
said it.
also is the air traffic controller.
Joe's joined me today. So.
yeah, you two. Both
No, but
direct
yours
airplanes.
looks more official. Joe looks like he's handling business. You look like you're doing, I don't know.
I gotta straighten out the microphone like this.
There you go.
Now
No, that's
Yeah, there you go. Now you look like a telephone operator. Go on, sorry.
I'm curious. Can I ask real quick?
He's channeling
what
his
does
inner
Kaizen
Wayne's
mean?
world.
Yes.
Go ahead. You can ask a question. Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
It's an
please
internet
go
show.
ahead.
What does Kaizen mean?
So Kaizen is the Japanese mindset of continuous improvement. Originally, it was applied to engineering. It was applied to manufacturing. It was then started to be applied to finance. And so it spread throughout the entire business world, but we're ignoring the fact that this can be applied to the most important asset in an organization, which is the human element, the people. And there's something called G factor, which Spearman discovered when he was first doing the research into intelligence 100 plus years ago. And if you improve in various areas, you become a better person, and increased G factor, increased capability in lots of different ways is a reflection of your potential in terms of your impact, your financial production, all these different arenas. And so if we focus on just taking care of our own shit and getting slightly better on our own, doesn't matter what Karen's doing, doesn't matter what that person's doing. If you improve yourself, you are going to be better and you're going to be a better person overall.
That makes a lot of sense.
That makes sense.
Dedicated.
Feel good, play good, be good, right?
Yeah.
Or look
This
good,
is
feel good,
Stan's
play
and
good.
So it's a little bit like Atomic Habits, right? And you have your own book. Hold on, I got a picture of it. Oh, look at you. We both came prepared today. Bang! Hey.
Can I tell you the truth? Can I tell you the truth, right? And I'm no expert about
No,
any
lie
of this
to me.
stuff, right? But I'm going to tell you a real truth here. I like your cover better than Atomic Habits.
Mm,
Not that it matters what I think, but
Right.
Well,
if I was
hopefully I
judging
can
covers-
sell as many copies as Atomic Habits because they're at like 16 million at this point.
you're going to be close, right? 10, 11 million?
10 or 11 copies.
Are there groupies for book? Like, I want to be an author someday, but like, I know Charles Bukowski got famous late in life at about 60. He was banging college students. So I'm thinking about, has that been your
Is that
experience?
Eric's
That
bad?
has not yet been my experience, but if there's some groupies who want to start hanging out with me, the door is open.
Okay. All right.
You know, I got the white van. You know, I got some free candy too. So
You get a nice bottle of Willet, which is nice. All right. So
Okay.
walk us through. Your mother was a nun. Is this correct?
yeah. So my mom was a nun who went in and out of the convent multiple times, and then eventually ended up marrying my dad, and they ended up having 6 kids. So you know,
That's
I'm the
very
normal one.
nun-like of her. That's an aggressive.
Yeah, that just sounds like a rule she broke.
That's a
No,
start.
because I mean, like, you know, once out, you know, they go wild. So, you know, she
Yeah.
always wanted to have kids.
That's the
But,
Amish. Mhm.
you know, so ended up having 6 kids. As I said, I'm the normal one. I'm second out of the 6. You know, my mom was an educator before she ended up having the family. So we were always driven towards education. So I started college at 13 because my parents said 12 was too young. I used to be wicked smart. Then I started drinking. And so, you know, I've got a pretty interesting background. I was a research physicist for the Department of Defense. I've been an intelligence officer, financial advisor. You know, I've written over a dozen books, podcasts, former world champion martial arts. I run ultra marathons because, you know, I hate myself. And so that's how we exhibit it. So I'm just addicted to challenge and driven. And a lot of this comes about because when I was 10 years old, I actually died.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I got better, obviously.
I'm so confused.
You
I
didn't
must warn you, Joe, we are lazy, fat, and slow here.
exactly.
We're easy, as I would say, easy to kill. ETK.
Well, you know, when I was scuba diving, we were taught that, you know, what to do when you see a shark is, you know, take your knife out, cut your buddy, and swim like hell. So you don't have to be the fastest runner. You just have to be faster than your buddy.
That's true.
That's right.
How did
And
you
the
die?
various them.
How'd you die?
So I was severely asthmatic as a child.
Yep.
So very much like Teddy Roosevelt, my good old Teddy over there. And so, you know, back in the 70s and early 80s, they didn't have the puffers and all that sort of stuff. So you're having an asthma attack, you go to the doctor. And I was laying there, and all of a sudden I'm floating out of my body, and there's the bright lights and the big, deep James Earl Jones voice. And bang, then I'm back down in my body. And since that point, I burned the candle at both ends and in the middle of the flamethrower.
No shit. So let me get this straight. So you died at 10, and then you're like, fuck, I gotta get to college. So you went to college at 13?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm ever gonna do keg stands and play beer pong, I better get this shit together because I just died. How the fuck? So you graduated high school at 12?
Well, there was this special program that Hopkins had, which both Lady Gaga and Zuck actually went through the same program. We called it Genius Camp. So I was doing it simultaneously. I went to high school in an attempt to normalize me, which obviously failed, you know, pretty badly. But I've got friends who like got their PhD in applied mathematics at 20, 21 years old. So
that's intense.
I have friends, Joe, you don't believe this, that got their degrees in their late 20s. And these were 2 and 3 year degrees. It's funny, people saw that movie Van Wilder. I said, I know a few Van Wilders, real ones.
So if you watch the movie Real Genius, that was basically my life.
Val Kilmer?
I was Val Kilmer, yeah.
Val Kilmer comes up every
We love Val Kilmer.
show. He's a national treasure.
He's a national treasure.
We talked about The Doors yesterday at length. It's a great movie.
I actually thought he was Jim Morrison, but I was correct.
He did channel it. He really did. Mm-hmm. That's one of his best performances.
Yeah, he was amazing. And he was also exceptional in Top Gun. And Top Gun 2 was a little sappy for me, but it did bring back some memories.
What about Tombstone is one of his finest.
Oh, my God. Tombstone's.
Doc Holliday.
Classic.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Some of his best work.
Every time we talk about Val Kilmer, Robin goes quiet. I don't think he celebrates the work of Val Kilmer.
I'm just still taking in like all the bizarre stuff Joe said. Did you also say that you were a martial arts expert?
Yeah, I'm.
Or was I daydreaming?
Yeah, I do Taekwondo, and I've cross-studied with judo and a whole bunch of other things. I fought in the Tough Man contest. This is before MMA became really big. And so like I did that while I was in graduate school, and I actually had to go bartend afterwards. So that was a fun night.
How does this guy have this much time to do all these things?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I think you're a masochist to some degree, right? You like torturing yourself, obviously.
I think he prioritizes his time. Probably. Am I right? Like
I don't fuck around too much.
Yeah.
So when I do, I actually like go as hard with it as I do in everything else.
I have a question about martial arts really quick. I don't know anything about it, but I'm always curious, right? When you see these guys in MMA and they're like, this guy's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu and this guy's a Muay Thai and this, what in the hell's the difference? I'm not being funny. Like, I know there's a difference,
Yeah,
but like,
so-
what's the best? Like, what will kill somebody?
They can all kill people. It
Okay.
depends on how much you train and what your particular body type is. So, for example, Bruce Lee did Kung Fu and eventually Jeet Kune Do, and everybody's like fascinated by his stuff. Bruce Lee actually studied Wing Chun, which is a close-in form of Kung Fu. If you watch the China Connection, those really thick glasses that he's wearing, those are his. He was as blind as a bat. And the other thing is, he had one leg that was a half inch shorter than the other. So he was naturally predisposed for all those really cool spinning kicks that he does in the movies. His body was just built for that sort of stuff. Okay. If Bruce Lee was 6'2" and 250 pounds, he, in terms of his natural body type, that would not be oriented towards that particular type of martial art. So, you know, I'm scrawny. I mean, like all the guys that I train with are like built like this. They're like, you know, special forces, they're corrections officers. They're like, you know, big, you know, bodybuilder type guys. That's not my build. That's not my nature. So the type of martial arts that I do and the way that I approach it is obviously different because we all have our own gifts, our own capabilities. And what it comes down to is finding and maximizing those. And when you're doing that, then you're working with passion. And so you can push beyond any sort of limits that you would normally have because it is just so enjoyable. As Arnold Schwarzenegger said, I didn't need discipline because I was working from love. That's the same sort of thing. You find what you truly love and you don't need discipline. You will work those 16 hours. Probably not in a sweatshop, but you will push much harder, much longer than other people because you're not working for the man, you're working for yourself.
Yeah. I realized very early
That's
on.
very true. Yeah.
Drink in dimly lit bars, and I've been slaying it ever since. It's really a labor of love, but
Eric was fortunate enough to find his call.
very early in life. Yeah. So, Joe, you're very intense. Do you exhaust your children, or are they like you? Because not everybody's.
So I've got 3 hooligan boys, 18, 16, and 12 and a half. And 2 of them are special needs. So they're both on the spectrum and they have a couple of other issues. My middle kid is a redheaded version of me. He is completely fearless. So this kid founded a cult at 12 years old in school. So
how old is he? He's 16?
He's 16 now, yeah.
Nice.
He founded a cult?
He founded a cult in school, and you know he'd make people pay him tribute and like address him as.
Is it still around?
What?
Is it still around? Can I join? Is there a website?
Yeah, you can. You just have to pay tribute to him.
Okay, well, sounds like a nice guy.
I like it.
He's a good capitalist.
He's not referring to himself as Elron, is he?
No, he refers to himself as Lamb.
I like
it. Like Lamb of God.
Exactly.
Here's
He's got the curly red hair and everything.
He needs to get a tax exemption.
That's the most important.
We're off to the races.
Yep.
We're working on it. You know, I got background in finance, getting set up as a 501c3. Boom, we're good.
There it is.
So, like I said, I did a deep dive into you last night on the couch with a few gin and tonics. You also
just sounds so wrong.
You listen. Great news. You loved every minute of it.
Oh, okay.
So you said practice getting rejected. This is a thing we should do.
Yeah, because if you practice getting rejected, if you raise your DGAF factor, don't give a fuck factor, you know, you no longer have anxiety about it because you can recover. All right, that failed, to just move on to the next thing, move on to the next thing, move on to the next thing. So if you look at sports, you know, great athletes like the Michael Jordan, you know, Michael Jordan, you know, took the game-winning shot hundreds of times. And guess what? He failed multiple times. Doesn't matter. Give me the ball. I'm going to take the shot again. And so if you're like, all right, next, if you know that, you know, 1 out of 10 times you're going to win, hey, guess what? You take 30, 40, 50 shots, you're going to get enough wins. So it doesn't matter how many no's, how many rejections. If you're comfortable with it and you learn from it, you just keep going. And that is the difference between people who take the one chance of, you know, interviewing for a better job and they fail and they're like, oh, and then they're miserable for the rest of their life and they're, you know, living in the basement and they've got their red swing
down by the river.
Yeah, in the van down by the river. So, you know, they're not used to it. They can't say, all right, what did I learn from this? All right, I'll be better next time. And they go and they be better again and better again. And that's one of the things where that athlete mindset translate into other areas of your life is something that is incredibly valuable. And so the fact that everybody's getting participation trophies, no, you got to learn to win and lose, and you got to learn to hate freaking losing and do what it takes to get better so that in the future you can win. And if you do that and you constantly push yourself at the end of your comfort zone, you're going to achieve something truly incredible. And your incredible is going to be different than my incredible, but you keep pushing like that, you become the best version of yourself. And that's what the world truly needs, is more people who are committed to being the best version of themselves.
I'm sold.
Yeah, no, I'm in.
Buy the book.
Will you autograph it for us?
Absolutely.
All right.
I
The
like
thing about the trophies that bothers me, and this is really neither here nor there, but like we always blame the kids for getting participation trophies. The fucking adults are giving them the trophies. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
This is what bothers me. Like everyone's like, fucking millennials suck. You raise them. It's like baking a shitty cake and go, this cake sucks. Bro, you fucking made it. So the kid isn't going, where's my trophy? They can't conceptualize they were supposed to get a trophy. The adults give that to them and they go, look at these little idiots with their trophies.
So my youngest one at like 4 years old, was playing soccer, and he got his participation trophy. And he's like, what's this? And the coach is like, it's for participating. He's like, but we lost. Only winners get medals.
Wow.
At 4 years old, my kid had the right attitude.
My 4-year-old still eats crayons. So there's probably something.
So he's going to be a Marine.
Hey, nice job.
Robin still eats crayons.
It's the only thing. It's the only
That's
thing I
why I'm
have in
on the
grocery
show.
stores. Yeah, they're delicious. So you said this other thing too. You said that. Hold on, I can find it here. Oh, champions want to be coached and coached hard. And you're a coach. Like that's one of the many things you do, right? We should get to all the things you do.
I like to be coached hard. I can tell you that.
Do you?
Yeah, like I have a pickleball coach, and he used to be the number one tennis player in Russia, and he's a maniac.
Yeah.
It's
And
100 degrees, and he's like,
you
harder,
have to
harder.
work for it, when you strive and you get better, it's like Matthew McConaughey says, earn your Saturday nights. If you spend all day, working outside, and then you have that first shower beer, it is the most incredible thing. If you have to try harder and harder and harder and improve yourself, and you put all this effort into building a business that succeeds, it is worth it more than hitting the lottery. Hitting the lottery, yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd go buy my pirate ship and all that. But when you work for it, you appreciate it more. And so having things handed to you, whether it's you're the spoiled rich kid that we see over and over again, or you think mom and dad are going to take care of you, or the government's going to take care of you, leads to this entitlement mentality, versus if you strive for it and you know what, you lose it. Like I lost everything in divorce. Doesn't matter. I rebuilt it. Because why? They didn't take it from me. They didn't take who I was. I've got a saying, I wear my black belt on my soul, because the effort, the attitude, the skill set, the mindset, the sacrifices stay with you, so you can always turn around and get it again. And
You can rebuild.
You can rebuild. You can, do it in different worlds. So some people who have been really successful in sports take that same sort of mindset and succeed in other areas. That's exactly what Kobe Bryant did. He ended up winning an Emmy, and he built some incredible business deals. And his family, he actually made more from selling the sports drink, his family, than he did in his entire basketball career. Yeah. And so it's these sort of things, this attitude of will set and skill set. If you build your will set, you can then apply that to other areas of your life, and you're going to improve. That goes back to the G factor we were talking about a while ago.
So coaching is one of your businesses, right?
Yes.
What does that look like if somebody hires you? Is it like phone calls every day? Like I have no idea. I've never used the coach.
It depends on the extent of the coaching, but I do harass people by text.
You don't show up at Eric's house, right?
I can.
With a bullhorn.
I was no. Leave the bullhorn at home. Bring that bottle of Willet. We'll get right up.
I'll bring my hammer, just tap you on the head. Wake up! Wake up!
Wake up, sweet prince! It's showtime.
It depends on the extent of it. Some of it, it's just text. I've got some email subscription services that every single day people can get an email that helps them improve. Some people, I'm actually interacting with them for an hour a week, whether it's Zoom like this or on the phone or face-to-face. So the coaching is based upon what they want, because it's their future, not my future. My future is pretty good. I'm going to be okay no matter what. It is what they want to accomplish, whether it's to stop smoking whether it's to be able to do a triathlon, whether it's to build a multi-million-dollar business, whether it's, you know, to not strangle their spouse, you know, whatever their goal is, that's what we're going to work around towards building. And they get all sorts of ancillary benefits and concepts that they can use, not just towards that goal, but the other goals that are important for them too.
Gotcha. So go ahead, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've always just kind of been fascinated with coaching, and like on what lines of coaching does it like coincide with therapy? So like maybe you've had clients in the past where they kind of like break down, and then you're like, oh, this is more a conversation for a therapist. Have you had?
Oh, it happens all the time, actually. And I actually have a master's in counseling. So I literally have a couch in my office, and I joke that people lay down on it. But I'd say probably 50% of the time, at least, after our initial conversation or two, my clients start joking that they didn't realize it was part therapy session, part comedy show.
Interesting. So all the everything you do, the podcasts, the videos, the book writing, is that to get more coaching clients, or like what's the grand plan here for?
The grand plan is to get to the point where I am somehow positively impacting 100 million people a year across the planet.
100 million?
Yeah. So like I've got Everyday Excellence. I'm working on the next book called Everyday Happiness. I've got 3 or 4 other books in that sequence that I'm working on developing. So, you know what? People buy books. That's great. That helps me buy beer or bourbon. You know, I've got coaching. I've got a lot of free content that I create on like the blog at everydayexcellence.com, the YouTube channels, this sort of stuff. The goal is to basically plant little seeds of goodness across the world and have people become resonating nodes of the concept of human Kaizen, where they're improving themselves and the little world around them. Because there's so much negativity out there. There's the natural entropy. There is just the negative fear mongering that we're getting from the right and the left and the news and all this. I want to have people be able to counteract that so that they're working towards their own vision of their best self. If we have more people doing that, then it's going to bend the curve overall, and that's the ultimate payoff.
Gotcha. So to reach 100 million people, you can't do that. There's a scalability issue if you're doing one-on-one coaching. So you need to put a lot of content. Is that the general idea?
Yeah, I do a lot of content. I do a lot of, like broadcasts like this. So, with your 10 million listeners that are here today, paying attention and learning from this.
12 million, by the way. I don't want to.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations on that. Growth. So, but it's, giving away parts of myself like this. Writing is basically taking a piece of your soul and putting it on the page. Podcasting and, lecturing and discussions like this, you're taking a piece of yourself and you're putting it out there, as Dr. Jordan Peterson says. So, but those pieces, people can find them, people can, look and see what they need, and it helps them along their own journey. And so the more of this that I do, the better I become. Because even though we've been goofing around and like cracking them a lot, I've taken things from you 3 here. Well, I guess, Rodney's gone now, but
I don't know what happened to Rodney.
I scared him away. But, I take things from this and I integrate into who I am, and I'm better. And now I have little ideas that I can share. And I'm going to probably integrate some of the concepts from here into some writing 6 months from now and not even realize it. That then turns around and helps others. And so that's the continuous improvement of myself, but also the sharing of it with others, because as Bishop Sheehan said, light another's candle. It doesn't do any good for me to become the absolute best that I am if I'm not utilizing it to help other people along their journey and become the best that they can be.
Let me ask you this, because we're kind of doing the same thing. Do you think there's an element of narcissism to what we do? Like,
absolutely.
Okay, good.
Okay. As that five people Brock said, if there's anything more important than my ego, I want it taken out and shot.
Right.
So,
yes.
Some of this is self-aggrandizement, but part of it is also, fuck you, I'm better than you are. I can bring you up somewhat. I can make you better. And the more people I make better, the net effect of it is that the world's improved much more through them getting better than is through me maximizing myself, because I will never be able to completely change the world in and of myself, but through what I can help others do, that combined effect, that's where we can do so much more. And so, I got a healthy ego, but I also understand that by doing it in a team, by reaching out with others, by having this impact, the net effect is going to be greater than what I could do on my own.
Right. And I don't think you can be great without having some sort of, ego, being somewhat of a narcissist. Like the audacity to think that you can compete there.
Yeah, but there's a difference between confidence and arrogance.
Mm.
Confidence is based on, reality. It's based on what you've done, what you've got the capability of do, what your plan is. Arrogance is unfounded. Arrogance is closer to narcissism. Confidence is definitely related to excellence. If you've done it over and over and over again, you'd be confident you're going to do it again.
Yeah.
And some people misperceive it as the arrogance, and that's because they very often haven't done it, can't do it, and as such say, oh, you're just blowing smoke, as opposed to somebody that says, oh, he's done it before, what can I extract from him to get better myself? So it's a different mindset. It's what Dr. Carol Dweck talks about, growth mindset versus fixed mindset.
I like that, because I'm clearly wallowing in arrogance, like haven't done anything, but I'm hoping the arrogance is going to be like that fake it till you make it thing. Because I'll tell you this, if I ever make it, I'm going to be the most obnoxious guy that's ever made it. I'm going to Charlie Sheen this shit. It's going to be hookers and cocaine and tiger blood. And
winning.
Yes. He's the greatest celebrity in the history of the celebrities. You said, and we're close to the end, but you said one of the hardest things for you to do is relax.
Yeah, I've got two speeds, stop and ramming speed.
Yeah. So this is you all the time? You're intense all the time? You're all like,
I am too much. I've been told multiple times. And, part of it is, if you look at big 5 personality traits, the conscientious one, which is a combination of work ethic, drive, attention detail, all that sort of stuff, I am literally off the chart. If I went and worked for a Fortune 500 company, my buddies bust that within 10 years, I would be the CEO, because 80-hour weeks, no problem. I just love what I do. And especially if I get hyper-focused on stuff and outtake my ADHD, I will just go and go and go. And so I have this fascination with learning, driving, doing, being. And so pushing that limit, that addiction to challenge that I have, which is a sort of positive addiction as opposed to the alcoholism, truly drives me to maximize myself. And so most people, they don't want that. Some people it bothers, and that's a them problem, not a me problem, just to say that. But so I just keep going and pushing, so sometimes I need to literally deplug.
What do you do to relax when you do relax?
Well, my relaxation includes running ultra marathons and stuff like that. So
okay, Joe, that doesn't fucking count. That's not, you can't. Oh, well, yeah, I relax doing one of the hardest things that's ever been done. Welcome back.
So it's the difference between distress and eustress. Distress, breaks you down. It creates cortisol. Eustress gets you excited, creates dopamine, serotonin, all that. So it's working towards stuff. So I shift from doing something incredibly hard mentally or emotionally to something incredibly hard physically, and I'm letting essentially those components of me, those muscles, relax. So it's like shifting body parts when you're lifting. But the other thing that I do is, we've got a family compound in the mountains that's been in the family for 80 years. And I was there this weekend. So I'll literally just go up there. There's basically no cell phone. I'll go run the roads. I'll go swim in the 40-degree lake, stuff like that. But I'm out in nature.
Yes, we will join you, Joe. Thanks for the invite.
So we had an ultra marathoner
awesome.
on last week, and I asked him the same thing. So when you're running, there's thoughts in your head that aren't fuck this hurts, I want this to be over, because I've never
there's a lot of that though.
Okay, because when I go to the gym, the thing I like most about the gym is leaving. I like having the feeling of earned leaving and then going and having fun, but there's nothing about the process that is enjoyable to me besides leaving. But you run an ultra marathon and mile 17, you're like, this is great. I'm just going to keep going for another 50.
He's like, I wish there was another 100.
Right. That's insane.
Because
damn it.
You learn to love the process. So building a business. So a lot of people are focused on the end result of, we're going to IPO, we're going to get sold, I'm going to become a unicorn, I'll sit on a beach drinking margaritas. Yes. I love the process, the constant, the little things of improvement. That's where the human Kaizen comes about. So there's the difference between the two people, one the bricklayers. One's laying bricks and somebody asks them, what are you doing? Oh, I'm freaking laying bricks. And the other one's like, no, I'm building a cathedral. And every single brick is important. I focus on doing the best possible job there because this is going to be around for hundreds of years. And that is a very Zen approach in some ways of being in the moment and enjoying whatever it is that you're doing there. As Marcus Aurelius said, focus on the task at hand like a Roman. So truly being into whatever you're doing there, understanding that that is not just punching a clock or wasting time. That is building towards something huge that eventually you'll be able to look back on and say, that was pretty cool.
Joe, you're an interesting guy and an intense guy. You did well. We have 30 seconds left. Do you want to plug anything?
Yeah, go to everyday-excellence.com. Check out the blog. It'll give you free daily information. And then, buy my book so I can get some beer.
There you go, baby. Hey, listen, cheers. You've been a great guest. You're the only one who's ever drank with me this early in the morning. So
thank you, gentlemen. It's been an absolute hoot. Be excellent and grow today.
All right, man. Listen, America, we'll be back tomorrow with guests I should probably know, but I forgot. Listen, I got a lot going on. And then, goodbye.